Hello, this is gluten-free Jossie. Today I'm making gluten-free pizza from scratch. I am consistently disappointed with gluten-free pizza crusts that are frozen, and I frankly don't trust pizzerias not to poison me. Not to mention, even when I have had pizza at a restaurant, they're also using frozen crusts, which are frankly worse. No one I know around here is making gluten-free pizza dough fresh.
From scratch. So I've already got my dry ingredients in here, and although I did use instant yeast as the recipe asked for, I still checked it, activated it, got it going because I don't want any nasty surprises of my yeast being old and not working, and that would be a real bummer. So I just put a cup of warm water in there, and I need the other 3/4 cup. The rest of the recipe it's calling for, and 2 tablespoons olive oil. The honey also went in with my yeast starter. Okay, I think that's all I need for this. And now, dough hook time.
If you haven't used yeast in a while, just a reminder that to get a good rise out of yeasted dough, you have to prove the dough in a warm, humid environment. Dry yeast, cold yeast, is unhappy yeast. I've been pretty frustrated in the past with a bad rise on dough, and so I really go all out to make it happy. So yeah, I'd say the humid environment worked because that is absolutely stuffed in there. All right. Now to the fridge for maybe an hour to chill it, and then second proof.
Now I'm going to weigh each chunk of dough here and make a ball and get it all spread out and onto my baking sheets. The recipe technically calls for pizza stones, which I don't own. And so I'm just going to do my best with baking sheets and hope that that doesn't mess me up too much. It calls for as well to flour with corn flour. I'm using kind of a mixture of corn starch and flour. I'm also going to put on my baking sheets so that the pizzas don't stick. We don't have problems here. It's maybe a little much. Dough balls. Oh gosh, this is so sticky. Goodness gracious. Of about 6 ounces a piece. We want it about 10 by 10 inches. And to be honest with how soft this is, oh my goodness gracious. That is going to be a challenge. Okay, wow. That is going to have to be good enough. Okay, little friend, let's see. Some spatulas maybe? Goodness. I can see why a pizza paddle would be a good idea. I would recommend that. Oh my. 1 Ow, that did not go super well. It's a little torn up. Can I keep it from tearing? No. Okay, just do this again. Oh goodness. Oh, what a big hole. What a mess. That was probably the worst of them. Because not all three will fit in the oven, plus I have the oven preheating to 500 degrees, I'm going to leave them on the counter just covered with tea towels and some more water boiling on my stovetop to help make the environment humid, and it's definitely warm with the oven starting to preheat. So hopefully that'll give it a little bit of a second rise, which should make the dough pretty pleasant to eat, I hope.
So the second proof didn't really seem to inflate the dough any, but it still gave it a chance to rest after shaping, which is important too. Thankfully, it did fluff up in the oven because it looked really flat when I went to stick it in, so I was worried it would be a sad little pancake. I'm going to quickly flash what I used for toppings, which I got the pesto, meats, and cheese all from Wegmans. I made the red sauce myself using 28-ounce canned crushed tomato, 3 garlic cloves, minced, heated first in a tablespoon of olive oil, added a tablespoon of oregano, kosher salt, and balsamic vinegar, plus a teaspoon of fennel seed, black pepper, and simmered for 20 minutes, allowed to cool a bit before adding to the pizza crusts. The white pizza used the pesto, ricotta, some mozzarella, whereas the meat lovers used the smoked mozzarella and the meats, obviously. I also want to show you the bottom of the pizza crust of the white pizza. Honestly, it's good. My husband, who eats gluten-containing pizza, also said that the crust on the white pizza was good not just for gluten-free, but actually really good pizza. That's high praise. And make sure the crust looks like my last one, getting golden and little spots of crispiness. My first my margarita pizza and my meat lovers pizza were underbaked just a bit, and so they were a little doughier. And the white pizza was perfect, which took more like 15 minutes. I think the recipe says like 6 to 7 and then broil. This took 15 minutes on 500, and that was perfect. If you're ready to dive in, I'll have the recipe in my post.